Welcome to 50 Shades of Red podcast. I want to thank you all for getting here. I'm sorry we're late. We are on CP time, and that's how we operate over here. So first, we're gonna go ahead and just briefly introduce everyone. But our first topic is gonna be about Kamala Harris. So I'm gonna go ahead and allow everyone, starting with Talisha, to go first, and then Talisha, after you say your at name, your political affiliation, please. We'll go to Kat, and then we'll go to Dominique and AJ. Okay, so go ahead.
I
I
am
am
Talisha
Talisha
with
with
Street
Street
Politics
Politics
with
with
Talisha,
Talisha,
and
and
I
I
guess
guess
I
I
talk
talk
about
about
politics.
politics.
Um,
Um,
what
what
else
else
should
should
y'all
y'all
know
know
about
about
me?
me?
That's
That's
about
about
it.
it.
If you
If you
don't
don't
follow
follow
me,
me,
follow me
follow
on
me on
Twitter
Twitter
at
at
Street
Street
Politics with
Politics with
Talisha.
Talisha.
Okay, and Kat.
All
All
right.
right, I am Kat.
My
Um,
acting is Diary of
my
My
acting is
Truth.
Diary of My Truth.
Um,
I'm
big advocate for
big
school
advocate for school
choice, and
choice,
I
and
am a
I am a
conservative.
conservative.
Okay, cool. Dominique.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody. My
everybody.
name
My name
is
is
Dominique
Dominique
Rebel.
Rebel. I'm a
I'm a
homeschooler,
homeschooler,
homesteader,
homesteader,
full
full
time
time
DBA
DBA
student,
student,
and
and
my
my
political
political
affiliation is
affiliation
hotel.
is hotel.
Oh, well, shit.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. I just made that
Okay.
up. All right.
AJ.
So my
So
bad,
my
I
bad,
should
I
put
should
my
put my
name
name
with my
with my
Twitter,
Twitter,
but I'm
but I'm
Angela.
Angela.
Okay.
My
My
Twitter is
Twitter is
AJ
AJ
Spencer
Spencer
PR.
PR.
I
I
focus
focus
on
on
both
both
conservative
conservative
politics
politics
and
and
marketing,
marketing,
public
public
relations, all
relations,
that
all that
stuff.
stuff.
Okay, so would you say you're more of a conservative or a liberal? How many liberals
I
do we have on here?
Nobody, I
Nobody,
don't
I
think so.
think
Nobody's a
so.
liberal? Damn, I did horrible adding to this show. Okay, so look, this is how we're gonna start it. This whole topic, right? Did black women let Kamala Harris down? As if like that's the one thing that held her back. It all stemmed from this girl on Twitter at, I think it's at Angry Black Women. What is her name?
Oh,
Oh, at Black Women Views. I don't know why I want to call her angry so bad, but maybe because she cussed everybody out multiple
She was
days in a
She's
angry.
row.
angry.
So all right, listen to this rant. Please at her on Twitter because I would love her to know that she should have blocked me when she had the chance and she blocked my work husband, but she didn't. So now we're playing this rant. So bear with me, guys. All right, can you guys see this? All right, let's see here.
yep.
Boom. Okay.
Let me just say something to you, Bernie motherfuckers and you toasty motherfuckers that are all up in my comments. Fuck off. I don't have shit for you. You definitely don't have shit for me because I'm never, ever voting for Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard. Fuck out of here. I don't have shit for either one of them. And you really want to keep it that way? Because if I have to open up my mouth about either one of them, I'm going to drag the fuck out of them. So why don't you just leave me the fuck alone? What is wrong in your fucking demented heads, Bernie bros, that makes you think that somehow badgering and harassing the fuck out of people whose candidate just dropped out is going to somehow elevate Bernie Sanders? I understood why you punk ass bitches sat up there and lied on Kamala Harris every fucking day for years. Bravo. You
Yeah.
won the battle, bitch. Because you guys convinced people of all your stupid fucking lies and Kamala is gone. So what's the problem? Why y'all still in my motherfucking comments? Are you dumb?
Okay,
Leave
wait.
me the fuck alone.
There was another one. Hold on, that's not the one. I
I don't
meant
I
even
to.
don't
want to
even
hear.
want to hear that.
No, there's more.
Imagine if President Trump popped off like that.
Hold on, there was one where she was
Right.
like, "You black women are the reason that Kamala has dropped out, yada yada. I'm trying to find it. This lady has posted so much shit though. It's like
Wow.
really hard. But as you could tell, she's really not happy about this. Hold on. Sorry guys, I've been trying to find this chick's rant for like a half
She's super
hour.
ladylike. I love it.
Well, she's just like me. I have a potty mouth, you know. Um, yeah, I don't. This chick's crazy. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. I think she deleted it. Because I'm pretty.
With
I'm pretty sure
wisdom.
she deleted it, right? So I'll sum it up for you. That was the least of her cussing out. All right. She basically said black women were holding Kamala Harris back. And the fact that they downed her for being married to a white guy and like her prosecution record and things like that was the reason why she was never going to get ahead. And everyone essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, everyone basically says they want black women in power and things like that, but now there's absolutely no diversity at all running for president. It's just a bunch of white guys, yada yada. And then she posted that rant, which was runner up. But yeah, like the comments are saying, it's nothing to do with color. So what do you ladies think? Did Kamala Harris have a shot because she was black? Do you think black women voters gave a shit that she was half black? Because let's just face it, she's not all black.
She's not even.
She's not black.
Well,
That's not even accurate. She's not black at all.
She's
She's not black. Let's get that straight.
Her father is Jamaican, white Jamaican, and her
Wait,
mother
isn't her dad like isn't her
white
family Jamaican?
Not yeah. He's a white Jamaican. He's an Irish Jamaican. It was admitted. He admitted himself. Her family owned slaves.
Oh.
That's her first problem. Period. She gonna have.
Damn.
Yeah, her family just owned her politics,
She's a
right?
slaveholder.
Well, I think for me, it wasn't even about color. It had to do a lot with her career path that she was on, right? Like, essentially, she was contributing to mass incarceration by being a prosecutor. She even set certain laws and was chairing a lot of initiatives in the communities that were not pro-black at all.
Right. And locking moms up who skip for truant. And you can guess who mostly was affected by that. Threatening to put you in jail because your kid is skipping school.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
she went too far on so many things. And then she expected people to just ignore that.
Well,
let's just face this. First of all, she ran a shitty campaign. She didn't know what she wanted to be. She didn't know who she was. She flip-flopped on every issue. When you got sworn in as a senator, you was an Indian. But now you thought you wanted to run all black folks, like that was gonna do something. You was smoking weed when you was listening to Tupac when he wasn't even out, and you just was up. She was worse than him.
I never understood the Tupac reference, right? So what was that even about?
She
said she was listening to. They asked her what kind of music she was listening to when she was smoking weed. This heifer gonna say she was smoking weed. It was Tupac. I believe it was Tupac.
And Snoop Dogg.
But he wasn't even out. He didn't even have it out.
Yeah, it was Tupac, but it was before he was even out. Like he was still like in high school. When she was in college.
So she
lied.
You know what
I'm saying? Like she just a liar.
She wanted
to dance around. She thought her trying to come up as black and being the black woman, the first black woman, like that was going to get her somewhere. Ma'am, Barack Obama blew that for everybody. Ain't no more going on color. I don't care about if she was a black lady. She still wouldn't get my vote.
Well, I think for me, right, because I'm actually Punjabi.
She's not genuine.
She's
not relatable at all.
Tell me if there's still an echo, guys. Do one of you guys have YouTube up in the background?
I do.
It might be yeah, you're echoing. Okay. So I think that for me,
is it echoing now?
I gotta wait till they update. But for me, it was more of a situation where I'm Indian and black, and it kind of appeared that no, it's still an echo. It kind of appeared that it's not true. It kind of appeared to me that she was pandering to the black vote. only because she came out not even really wanting to benefit off her mixed ethnicity. I mean, it's one thing to just say I'm a mixed race candidate, you know, and I'm right in the middle on this issue, yada yada. But it's like she almost went from going to get pork chops in the middle of California. First of all, black people don't eat pork,
We don't even
okay?
eat
We
pork. I
don't.
don't.
I'm not eating no pork. I mean, I do eat it here and there, but
I eat bacon, but I don't eat no pork
I
chops,
eat pork
sweetheart.
meat at all.
but then recently,
Bacon is yeah,
I
bacon's
don't
good
know
for
if you
me.
guys ever like watch The Office. The Indian actress on there, Mindy Kaling, I actually really like her, and
The lady
she
she was cooking with?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
She's a really funny
Yes.
actress. She's now a director, producer,
Yes.
writer. She employs a lot of women and a lot of women of color specifically. That is her goal. But she had the nerve to start saying, oh, my mother used to cook with this. Oh, now you want to be ethnic, right? Like, and then as
Even
soon
though
as
she
she,
couldn't cook anything. She didn't know how to cook anything.
well, wait, I can't cook no Indian food. So, but my thing was like it's like once she realized that black people didn't fuck with her, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just go to the Southeast Asian vote." Well, guess what? You're not Indian enough for them either, sis. I hate to tell you, I ain't either. Like, you're not. It's a waste of time. You can get on there, and what was the point of even doing that if she knew she was about to quit? Like, what was the point of even wasting time to pander to the Southeast Asian community, almost like she has an agenda maybe to be vice president?
Right.
I think that's where she's going with it. Would you be okay with her being vice president?
She's not going to be vice president. She can't. Nobody likes her. Isn't the point of a
No.
vice president to have a likable candidate? I mean, Mike Pence was, I guess, likable, not to me, but people liked him. I guess he bought something. What did she bring? Who? What group is she even going to bring to the table? Who is going to vote for her? Literally, as a person, she has no personality. That's like Hillary 5.0. You put Elizabeth Warren and the rest of them up there, they all act the same. They're
Right.
inauthentic. Inauthenticity will never get you votes. They don't have anybody authentic to me. I mean, Tulsi. Anyway, I won't talk about Tulsi. We're talking about Kamala, right? Yes.
But somebody said because you black, not Indian. I'm both. I mean, I look honestly. If I was a politician, which I'm not, I
You ain't
probably never.
pandering either.
I was about to say I would never. I don't think I would ever be. But if I was, I would never be one or the other. I would come straight out. I'm multiracial, and I'm
Right.
sticking at that. Like I want to be able to play both sides of the field.
She could
Okay,
have she could have ran off that and pulled in both sides like
she
all
could
her
have if she kept it
characters.
real from the beginning. And then what got me, as soon as she announced she had her husband post that picture of them, you ain't shown this man since you got the
Never
cheating
seen them.
scandal. Are you kidding me? Like now you want to be the token interracial couple? Where was the same energy when you were running? You hit him. Like, you know, black women love they black kings. So what you do? You hid your white chocolate in the background till you was
Right.
ready to go home after you stopped paying your staff, skated off with the donation money.
She got
She
$10
might have
million.
been better off. She
I
bought
want to
Willie
know what she
Brown out.
doing
At
with
least
it.
that would have gave her some sort of
Well, is
black
she legally
presence.
allowed to do anything with that
She
money?
about to
I
move
think
back to
she
New
can
York.
use
They
it
just
for
start
her
another super
campaign.
PAC or something. They'll just start another PAC
Yeah, they
I
can
think
keep the
or start
money.
something like that and funnel the money a different way.
yeah, you can funnel it. I think
If
through
the
a
Mm-hmm.
camp
DNC
like by
doesn't
her
take
running
it.
for senator, she can use that for that.
Right.
I can't relate, I guess,
But I heard
to.
she wasn't running again.
Well, I would hope she's not that stupid. I mean,
Of course she's
and
gonna run again. Are you kidding
Of
me?
course, everything I've seen is that she left
Well, I
before it
don't
was
even
too
think she's running
late,
for senator
basically.
again.
She's gonna run for senator again. She can win.
why do you think she can win?
Because who voting for
Because it's
anybody in
California.
California? It's Cali.
Her
Unfortunately.
voter base are idiots. Is that what y'all saying?
I'm not saying that.
I don't know. I feel like she maybe would have had a chance had she had just owned up to her mistakes before Tulsi outed her, essentially. I mean,
Right.
I think after that moment at that debate, it was no coming back from that. Um,
I want to
it
say
wasn't. Go
the
ahead.
thing about Tels, this is how you know she wasn't black. You let this white woman take you out, and you ain't have no comeback. You couldn't defend nothing she said.
Well, she
I
didn't have
mean,
a comeback until after the debate, they interviewed her alone and she was like rolling her eyes and had
And
all
that's
this
because somebody her
attitude.
campaign staff had to give her that.
Where
'Cause
was
I would
all
have said
that
all
on
kind of stuff.
stage? Right,
I would have
right.
said you
But
Russian asset. Look here, Mo. You
Right.
war criminal. I would have said all kind of
well,
stuff.
even the
Okay,
people that's
hold
posting
on, y'all.
her
I
posting
found the
are
I
posting.
found the rant. Pause. I found the right one. Oh shit. Okay, 1 second. This is gonna be really good. Don't talk while this lady's cussing us out, okay? We gotta hear this. This is gonna be so funny. All right.
Around in 2024 and 2028 to have y'all motherfuckers sit up there and drag Kamala Harris because X, Y, and Z person wasn't prosecuted. No. That's a setup and I'm not here for it. So, I will say though, if Kamala Harris wants to be Secretary of State, I fully support that. I absolutely believe that we need a black woman to be the face of America on the world stage. Yes, Kamala, I would support that wholeheartedly. But let's talk about this Biden-Harris stuff. Okay, I really think that a lot of y'all want to feel better about the fact that you didn't support the black woman running for president. I don't know if you motherfuckers thought she was going to vote for a white man throwing a black woman free, but I think that that was a really delusional ass way of thinking. Because guess what? We lost a lot of our leverage with Kamala Harris dropping out because we did not support the black woman running for president. How the fuck do y'all think y'all don't support Kamala Harris running for president? And then that means that, oh, well, we didn't support the black woman running for president, so go pick this random black woman, not random, but, go pick this black woman over here and put her on a ticket. That doesn't make sense, people. What are you guys fucking thinking? And are y'all even listening to Joe Biden? Joe Biden is like, I got you niggas already. That's what Joe Biden thinks. On his no malarkey tour, he's sitting up there saying that, he was sent to the African American communities to shore up the vote for Barack Obama. Bitch, where? He really believes that he was the one to shore up the black vote for Obama. And y'all think this man, who never polled below 40% with black voters, thinks he needs a black person on his ticket? Y'all crazy. But if that's what you believe, and if that's what Kamala Harris wants, then that's what y'all need to start working on. Otherwise, be prepared for a white woman or a white man on that goddamn ticket.
Okay. So we're gonna stop it right there. My issue with her is that why is everything? Yeah, I was about to say no shit. She's angry, but why is she keeps emphasizing the race aspect of it? And then in another rant, which I'm not gonna play, she compared Kamala Harris to Shirley Chisholm.
Oh, that's
Wow.
She said she was the Shirley Chisholm of this generation, and that is where she was measuring up, and we lost a good one. Like we, as in black women specifically.
I thought Michelle was gonna run.
Michelle's not running. Get real. She don't want to be bothered with this shit. She done gained 10 pounds. She on the beach somewhere smoking weed.
She's chilling. But they keep saying that, she's playing, even if you say she's playing the race card, every time you ask Kamala about what she wants to do for black people specifically, she wanted to be general. She wanted to say, oh, my plans work for everyone. But then, so how are you going to expect for black people to walk right behind you, support you? You can't even throw them anything. She couldn't come up with anything that she wanted to do specifically for African Americans, but she expected all their vote. And it's like everybody else, even Elizabeth Warren is trying to act like she has some black plan. You couldn't come up with a black plan. You couldn't come up with anything that you could at least put black plan on your website. Like nothing.
Oh, it's racist if she calls it a black plan.
Elizabeth Warren. That's what I'm saying.
But
at least
Kamala Harris
could say a little something.
You didn't see when she was drinking that beer? She had the Sambo watermelon on her screen. That's her black.
She wasn't drinking a Corona though. Everybody know black people love Coronas. She wasn't drinking no Corona.
Black figurine eating watermelon right behind her.
True.
So that is her black plan, to have us sitting on the corner somewhere eating fried chicken and eating watermelon. That's her black plan. That's it. That's the only black thing I've seen out of her campaign is the character.
So let's address Sad Mom's question or comment rather. We need to support more black folks politically. Why are we never likable?
I'm not supporting nobody because they black.
Barack was likable, and it showed that when we have a likable candidate, well, not me because I ain't vote for him, but the masses will vote if he's relatable. And I don't even think Obama was relatable for real, to the average black American. He was more of the Huxtable type of. Yeah, he was charismatic. He had an easygoing personality. He had made it technically by black standards, went to college, had children, the right path all the way around. So I think he was more of that Huxtable ideology that
And
we
plus,
like
we
to
was
look
gonna
forward
vote
to.
for him. We didn't care if he was Suge Knight. We was gonna vote for him regardless because he was black.
Right.
I didn't know nothing. I didn't know one single thing he ran. All I know was I'm gonna vote this first black man in office. You know what I'm saying? That's how I thought back then in 2008.
We need to get out and vote like we did for Obama and get the Republicans out.
But what are the Democrats doing?
Trying to impeach Trump. That's it.
What are the Democrats
Yeah,
doing?
Honestly, right
Impeaching
now,
Trump.
What
I honestly, I don't see, and people keep advocating this feminist agenda. Okay, I don't know how many of you on the panel are feminists. I am not a feminist, period.
No, that's too much. I
Yeah,
like man. I
I
can't do all that
honestly,
women stuff.
no, because
I would
let's
say
look
I
at,
was.
but wait, let's look at what's going on with President Trump. Let's imagine Elizabeth Warren dealing with this. You think she would honestly have the balls to call Kim Jong-un Rocket Man and tell him you're not making no deal? Like, no, she would
No.
not. She would not. Like, let's just be real. You think they're gonna laugh at her and she just gonna take it on the chin, post a petty ass tweet and keep it moving? No,
So
she's gonna be
have her
no.
meme team meme Kim Jong Un and make him feel bad with their terrible memes.
Elizabeth Warren is all about
They
free
suck.
stuff.
Wait, she has a meme team? No, she doesn't.
Yes, she
What?
has a meme team of grassroots memers
Elizabeth
that are
Warren?
supposed to be making her memes. If you go to
What kind of memes does she make?
they're terrible. They can't compare with MAGA memes at all. And their instructions are like, let's crowdsource the memes. Like, crowdsource a meme? That's not how memes work. Like, somebody just makes them, but they can't tell the truth, and that's why their memes suck.
You know what?
Who made me silent? I'm sorry. That wasn't for.
Not a.
Oh, I take that.
Who posted
No,
that
look.
comment? That's weird.
I don't know. I'm just highlighting them as they come in. Look, y'all did not respond well to that. I'll take it off.
Or maybe they saying that the feminist thing that means
Somebody
it's supposed
said,
to be
okay,
silent.
then who y'all think should be president?
Trump.
It's Trump or Tulsi. I don't agree. I don't agree with majority of Tulsi's, but if Trump for some reason got impeached, no way in fucking hell is Pence gonna run again and win. It's not gonna happen. He's too complacent. He's a second man, not a first man. I would vote if I had to, if there was no better candidates. Probably Tulsi, but honestly, I'm still Trump 2020. I don't think a woman is ready to be president. I don't.
Y'all don't know
And
about
Tulsi isn't presidential. She's always
I will
posting
vote for
workout
Tulsi.
videos.
She does
I
post a
rarely
lot
hear
of workout
anything
videos.
about her policy.
She a robot. She a robot to me.
She's not.
Ooh,
Like,
this
she's
guy is
Secretary
not
of
in the
State.
mood for us. Look at this. He's
No,
not
she's
in the
running
mood
for
for us.
Secretary of State, not president.
Why are you
American
watching?
Samoan. She's gonna have a problem.
Okay, now wait a minute. We can say we don't want a woman in the White House, but you can't fucking say that, okay? You stay in your lane. Only we can say we don't want her in there. Y'all gotta say you okay with where we're going in there. That's very sexist. How dare you?
No, that's
Right.
right. We do need to stay in our lane.
No,
That is
for
a
real though. Look,
No.
I'm sorry.
Tulsi need to go work
I can't
out and
see
shit.
nobody.
I don't think that's gonna work out for
Nobody
her.
wants to see the president sweat. Like,
Well, wait a minute. Obama was playing basketball. What do you
We
mean?
don't want to see
okay,
no
but
president
every
on
other
TV.
day, I don't want to see you on Twitter in some home gym sweating in your, like, no, it's too much.
Andrew Yang sat there and sprayed whipped cream in some dude's mouth.
He
done.
gay.
Oh my
They
God.
gay. The two men that got on their knees is gay and Yang.
Did you see his
Any man
young
needs to do
campaign?
that.
His young campaign staffer had to tell him, bro, no, stop. He was about to do another man. He was like, who wants more? And the guy was like, and then he was like, and the guy was like, no, stop it. We gotta go. And he didn't understand. I would like to.
Personal life.
This
I
is a
will-
millennial, that's what a millennial campaign is
No.
like. Andrew Yang, right there.
Not.
That's the future right there. Bunch of goofy memes, tweeters, people. Andrew Yang is that, for real.
Oh,
Wait, Felicia said he's on his knees. Yeah, he really was.
Let me tell
Just
you
picture
something.
it.
if any one of them Negroes would have been my man, I would have kicked his ass in the back and I would have left him right there on his knees. Like I ain't never seen no real man
Oh my
get on their
God.
knees to open up their mouth. Sorry. Open up their mouth to have something, some white substance squirted in there. And I don't even like when I'm at Wasabi and I see them doing it. If any, I was about to say nigga, but any
Oh my
person
God.
do that, a man, I look at you some type of way. No man is opening up their mouth on their knees to another man. They need to
That's
get
facts.
Hotep's
Pretty
Jesus
awkward.
masculinity book and learn how to be a
There's
damn
not a
man.
pause line.
Oh
Wait,
my
so
God.
Hotep doesn't talk about
No, he
meeting
need
the
to get
needs of
that.
others?
No, I said they need to get his book on masculinity and grow some damn balls or something because that was just I could never see him as the president. Just imagine what he'll be doing in the White House.
He be doing some freak shit, having orgy parties and shit up in there. You know that. He gonna
Oh,
definitely get a charge. He's gonna get a charge, like for sure. Fucking with somebody on the low,
He
definitely.
gonna be
but
worse than
We
Is
thought
he
Bush
Bush.
was
married?
that.
be
I
worse than
remember.
Bush.
If
I
he
don't
is, his wife
know.
need to dump him.
You
If
know what
any
I'm
one of them
noticing?
three men is it got a woman dating married, they need to go get a divorce and get an AIDS test quick.
Damn, just jump right to AIDS. My God. Speaking of that, let's shout out to Ivanka Trump for passing that legislation on PrEP being free. I don't know if you guys know what PrEP is. We're just going to insert that in here. Little health disclaimer for the youth. So PrEP is a preventative medication that helps you avoid getting HIV. Say if your partner, has it and you're having sexual intercourse, which I don't suggest, but and you're doing that shit anyway, you might want to pop some PrEP. And it's now free thanks to the
What is
Trump
it?
administration. It's called PrEP.
What is it for?
PrEP. It's to avoid getting HIV when you're fucking someone with HIV.
I'm not even about to have sex with nobody that has
Well,
HIV.
people do, okay? Jeez Louise, Talisha.
I'm trying to keep
I'm
my mouth
sorry.
shut.
I'm just trying to throw out some good deeds that were done last week. My
Can't
God.
wait.
That's to protect the politicians. They're the ones that I'm in
Nah.
DC, okay? They're the ones that are with all of these prostitutes that have all these diseases. So yeah, that was for them. That wasn't for the regular
Yeah.
person on the street. That's to protect themselves. So that they can take it, they can give it to their
They
I'm
don't need
sorry.
it to
kids,
be
and
I said
free.
boom.
anything.
All right,
They can
so we're
afford
gonna.
it.
They don't
No,
need to
you need it to be free. I'm gonna tell you, New York is plagued with people fucking people with
No, I'm
HIV.
saying the
So
politicians. They can afford it. They don't need it to be
they
free
can
though.
they don't want to pay for that shit either.
no.
Look,
When in
people with
Rome,
money
do
never want
it.
to pay for shit. Why do you think the Kardashians and them get all that free shit all the time? Because they don't want to pay for it either. If you don't send it to them, they're not gonna be using it. So we were gonna kind of exit out and make a new broadcast, but we're not doing that shit again because it might go left. So if you want to stick around, we will now be discussing my favorite topic, porn.
That is,
Oh,
she is something else. Like I know her personally. Y'all don't.
Y'all don't know
This
the
is
real
right
me.
up her. This is right up her alley. But
Oh,
I'm
I've
gonna let
been
her
I've
take
been
the floor with
waiting.
this.
So recently, four Republican senators have wanted to implement kind of like a porn, I guess you would call it a restriction, similar to how the UK has it. I don't know why that came up like that.
It was big.
It was big. Similar it was big.
Yeah.
No, I don't know where we were going with that, y'all. I'm sorry. It's late. But yeah, similar to how the UK has it, and they essentially wanted to either charge you to access these websites like a monthly fee of like $20 a month, but in addition to that, take my wine away, sir, please. In addition to that, you would have to age verify and things like that. Kind of if you've ever done like an online casino, you know how you got to like put your ID and stuff in and like get verified before you can gamble. It's very similar to that to avoid younger people logging on, watching things they shouldn't be watching and things like that. So that's what these senators kind of wanted to come into play. But of course, us being Americans, we are complaining about an infringement on our free speech because according to the Constitution, this would be a part of that, right? So it is said that they are trying to pass the legislation. If not, it'll go through the process to hopefully get it through. And the people on my Twitter are livid, okay? They are livid because I said that if you're a man and you want to ban porn, you've either never fucked your wife or girlfriend while watching porn, or you've never watched porn, which means you can not have sex good. I mean, I would never personally, I would have never fucked a guy who never watched porn. That shows me that you're just poking me. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, we need
That's
this.
not true.
No, I'm serious. We need this because let's think about it, right? Let's go back to a time when we were teenagers and we were smashing, right? Let's go back. Let's take it back. Where do you think
Not
these
me.
guys were learning? Well, I was. Where do you think these dudes were learning what to do? They were watching BBW on the DVD from the corner store, you know what I'm saying, with the volume turned down. No one was really having these conversations. If you didn't have a brother or cousin or none of that, you were trying to get it how you live by watching porn. And that's just the truth of it. But we live in such a sensitive society now, and I'm going to use sensitive lightly because everyone is saying, well, we need to restrict porn because sex trafficking is the number one contributor to porn. There is porn addiction. Then another one was erectile dysfunction. If you can't keep your dick hard because of porn, I don't think your dick was getting hard before the porn. Okay, just my point on it. And then other than erectile dysfunction, what was the other one? Oh, it leads to divorce. If you gotta blame porn on your divorce, I don't think it was the porn, but we'll get your opinion on it because that's just my opinion. I could be jaded. I mean, honestly, I think this has a lot to do with personal preference and sexual fluidity on regard to whether you care about those consequences or not. So I'll open the floor and let you go.
I don't know.
Want to go first on this one?
Well,
I'll try. I think that it depends on your background, whether you think that it's appropriate or not. So, like me, I don't need that. Like, I have my own imagination, which I think works pretty well. In general, I've never had any problems. I just don't. I don't get it. Like, I do know that there are children who access it, and that is a huge problem. My daughter accidentally clicked on something on YouTube like when she was 5, and she still like has emotional stuff from that. So
Oh,
the
wow.
fact that children are able to so easily access stuff like this, and then they tell their friends, and then their friends tell their friends, and it becomes a huge problem. So I don't think that it's necessarily bad for an adult that's of age, but the adults of age aren't the problem. It's the children. I mean, I hate to use that axiom because it's so out of date, but think of the children. Like, but think of the children. It's the kids. You know, I don't.
but
If you're an
kids,
adult,
kids,
well, I
come on.
can say that I had a boyfriend that was really into it, and I didn't like it. Like, he was weird. Like, no BS. He was just because he would be like, "Oh, let's try this." I'm like,
Well, wait,
like, crazy?
what category? Wait, what category was he watching?
I don't know because I refuse to watch it altogether. Like, I'm not interested in seeing another person. I'm just not interested. So, but I can say he was his. Well, let's put it this way. I don't know how many children he has, but he's doing all types of stuff with all these people, and he's got at least 3 kids, at least, and he's not that old.
So are you
It
saying
sounds
the
like a lot
porn
of
made him
different
go
issues.
wrong? Like,
No, but it was like
I don't think that was contributing to him.
well, yeah, because
Maybe
like
a
he
part
would
of
see
it,
this
but
stuff, and then he would be like, "Oh, I want to do this," and if I'd be like, "Boy, you crazy," who knows who he was going to? Because I would be like, "No, I'm not interested in that. What are you talking about? You just watch this? Don't roll me over. I'm not doing it. Nope."
So you didn't want him to do the freaky stuff that he was watching on the porn?
No, I thought it was too extreme. Like, there's normal.
But wait, if you never seen it, then how do you know it was extreme?
Okay, so it only takes me one time to see that you're doing something that makes me feel uncomfortable, and I'm just gonna assume that it comes from this place because where else would it come from? I know that you watch this stuff. I look at your phone and you got it everywhere on your phone. You got it everywhere on your laptop, on your PS4. You got it everywhere. Like, everywhere I look,
Damn.
there's pictures of naked women. Like, it is.
Okay, well he clearly had an issue. I don't think that's normal.
But what's the difference between if you have one video? What's the leap between
Well,
one
judging
video?
by the amount of kids he has, I don't think it was a porn addiction. I think it was a sexual addiction, which is totally different because he was using porn as a filler. It seems like when he wasn't busting raw on people. Yeah, I don't think
That could be
that's like.
true too.
I
I
think he
mean,
had other
so what is the
issues.
actual porn addiction then? Like,
I
Oh, I know
okay.
some people have porn addiction. Like
So what's a
my
porn
friend,
addiction?
they watch porn constantly, and they don't. It's not even a sexual arousement with them. I
Yeah.
have a friend. Like, do not touch her TV. Do not touch her phone. Do not touch her. Like she has porn playing 24 hours as if it's watching CBS,
Well,
and
wait.
she and she not even in a horny state of mind. This is, and I'm like, what the fuck is you? Why is you watching this? Like every time I touch, like anything, every time I go to her house, I swear to God, it's porn on, and
Well,
she
maybe
just
she's
watches it.
desensitized.
Yeah, I think she is. She just watch it like she watching a normal TV, like she watching
So,
Housewives of
so answer
Atlanta.
me this then. What is the difference between porn and going to the strip club and watching them bitches get naked? It's the
oh, this
same
is a
thing.
strip
The
Nothing.
porn
club.
addiction,
It's the
though, the
same
difference
thing.
is
Interesting.
that porn addiction is on demand more. And I've known guys who have struggled with it and they set their schedule. They don't even realize that they're setting their schedule around it, that they can't help but see women naked when they see women in real life. They over sexualize women in real life because it literally starts to change the way that their brain filters sex and intimacy and communicating with women. It can really affect their socialization, the way that they date women, the way that they have sex with women too. Like I know girls who've gone on dates with guys who like that was said earlier, just wanted to do all this different stuff. I had a friend who was super freaked out after hanging out with a guy a couple times, liking him, but every time they had sex, it was like he became another person.
In
He
the
Exactly.
was
bed.
like he would just it was like he didn't even see her. Yeah, he was just like
Oh yeah.
going hands, fulfilling his wildest dreams, taking this chance. It was like, and she had to stop dating him because even though she liked him in day to day whatever, whenever they would have sex, it was like something else or someone else, and it wasn't like he was able to have sex with her. Like
Yeah,
he,
that's an addiction.
Like
That's
yeah,
definitely
it
a
was
addiction.
real.
yeah.
So I guess at what point do we say, okay, everything has an addiction, like
Mhm.
alcohol, right? And the restrictions we have on alcohol is that you have to be 21, you have to show ID, right? So is it then now that putting these restrictions on porn, which is essentially media, do you think that will have effects to other types of media? Because you guys outlined some of the issues, right? Sexual intimacy and things like that. But why should everyone else care? Because if it opens the door to other sources of media being restricted or banned,
Mhm.
then is it almost like we need to just accept those consequences? To protect the rest of our media and sources, or do we say, okay, the people are more important than our rights?
Well, I don't think media is a right. I mean, personally, I don't watch TV at all. I watch YouTube stuff, and I stopped watching TV like I don't know 3 years ago, and I haven't literally have not missed it. Um, and so I don't. I mean, I don't think media, as in television, as in what five corporations put out, that they say is appropriate for us to watch, should be classified as, like the same as under free speech. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, the state having more power is not great, but I mean, you have people who are deliberately targeting people, and I think that that's really the thing that people who are concerned about it. That's what the concern is when you have, you know, predators targeting vulnerable people. I mean, you just can't let that go unchecked. There's got to be a way to check it. So I saw like on Gab, they're talking about how you should have to, like put in your ID and verify, some information. Just even if it's just putting in your ID and verifying that you're of age to participate in this, thing. I think that would at least limit the exposure to children, which is
But
really my
ID,
priority.
they could be secretly
anybody can get
creating
an
a
option. Yeah,
registry. ID, that's
that ain't
if
gonna
I'm
block
putting
nothing.
in my driver's license number, you're asking for too much information.
They
Like
put
that's
in their
an
credit card numbers. to get
Credit
something.
Well,
card is
most porn is
different.
free now. I don't know about
What?
that.
And
Let me tell
I
you.
just
No,
want to
hold
say too with
on.
Wow.
Okay.
kids. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you who has the most porn, and I tell this to everybody, and they think I'm lying until they go over there. Twitter has the most porn.
I was about to say
You go
most
to
people
Where?
see it on social
every.
media.
I
Yes.
will send you a few links. I'm talking about they got one of the porn pages called the Porn Room. Like on my other page, that's not my
Oh, I
OnlyFans
thought you got
page.
me to follow that one. I remember.
It's my a couple of them, and I see it on my timeline because if you like it or something, Twitter has the most, and these people have over 250 some thousand um people that follow them. Twitter has the
Is
most
it a
porn.
private page?
No, it's
No, these are
open.
open pages. I
Open
somebody
If
had
pages
you're
on
worried about
Twitter.
young
feed some
people
of
and
this stuff.
porn, then the real issue you would want to look at is social media. Because I was just
Yeah.
talking to one of my kids in seventh grade. You flip through his Instagram, and all you see is women's butts and all this different stuff. And not only that, but these
Did you see
women
Yeah.
are following
Lizzo's?
him. They're following him first. He didn't find their
You don't
page.
even need a
They
your
followed
search
him.
history
So
anymore.
you need, so if you're worried about the internet, the easiest way for them to do it is not the internet. They're not going to porn.com usually. They're probably getting on Instagram.
On
So what
Instagram
are
and
you going to do
Twitter.
then?
Well, see, and Valerie, she raises a good question. What would be an appropriate age for porn if you had to show a license to age verify? I
18.
honestly think
You
I
can
don't
do
think
everything else when you
I
18.
think it should go off the age of consent in your state. It should be statewide if they're going to restrict it, and it should be the age of consent because in some states the age of consent is 16, right? So I don't think you should have to be old enough to buy cigarettes and shit to watch porn. I just don't. We have so many girls getting knocked up so early. Why is it okay for them to bring babies into the world and get on welfare and have jobs, but they can't watch porn and get off? Why? I don't get the difference in those things.
Well, in DC and Maryland, Virginia, they can't buy cigarettes or drink until they're 21. So,
You can't buy
Really?
cigarettes till you're
nope.
21.
21 for
Wow,
cigarettes, 21 for
They tried that in
alcohol.
Ohio
that's
and it got
crazy.
it got turned down
That's
real quick.
DC,
crazy.
Maryland, and Virginia are all the same way right now. So we're all,
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I also live in a police state, which is Maryland, which is a police state. And so in a police state, you kind of
Right.
expect the government to just keep taking over. So maybe that's
Hmm.
part of where my position, because they're taking over everything. In Maryland, you cannot, there's no concealed carry, period. You
Right.
can, if you shoot somebody in your house, you better be able to prove that they attacked you first because you could still go to
Oh,
jail.
see, me in
Maryland is
Colorado.
extremely
And fired
restrictive.
warning shots. Yeah.
Yeah,
You need
even
to
Wow.
if you
get up
fire
out
a
of that
warning shot,
state then.
I
somebody
wouldn't
gets
live
hurt
there.
in the
Me
firing of
neither.
the warning shot, they can sue you. Maryland is a
Hmm.
police state, so as a
Yeah.
result, I just expect for them to come in and just restrict it. And I don't know. I wish it wasn't like this here, but this is what we have in this area.
Well,
So
see, I think we're all kind of in agreement that if they were going to start restricting it, then an age thing would be okay, right? But how does that really stop human trafficking? Because everyone seems to be on that path when it comes to this. They always want to reference human trafficking, and say that porn is one of the number one contributions to it. But it's nothing to just have a child if we're talking about kids, right? First, to have a child just put in a random parent's driver's license and like put the number in and boom, you're watching porn. Everybody,
Right.
does that at some point when they are going through their parents' purse. And then when it comes to human trafficking, you think that these men who are human trafficking these young girls and putting money and time and travel expenses and shit into this, you think they're not going to be able to get around that? I don't get how they're correlating with the restriction on porn having a monthly fee, which obviously these guys are making money because they're
So
human
who wait a minute, who
trafficking
the fee
people.
gonna go to? The government?
exactly,
Who
exactly.
knows?
I
Who
don't.
knows?
I don't relate. I don't equate that. With the human trafficking, I don't. That's not really my thing, and I don't think people understand how human trafficking really works because it's very complicated. It's not like, oh, there's
They sneak
porn,
up in
all of a
these
sudden there's
people's
human trafficking.
DMs. They on social media. They recruit you
Right.
off social
Yep.
media.
They get
Recruit
you
you
at
off if they see you
They
walking down the
snatch you
Dominican
up.
street.
Republic. They
It
stop
ain't
you in the
like
street. Yeah, like it's
yeah. What
and
is
they
they
say
They
talking
do in
that.
about?
DC too.
Well, I think
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
say that once they get these
Ooh, like
girls and they
fentanyl.
train them, that's what they do. They put them in the porn industry. But guess what? Porn stars don't make shit.
Well,
Okay?
it's not
I don't
legal
know.
porn. they put them in the illegal industry, not the legal
Exactly.
industry.
Yeah,
The
they're
legal porn gets
exploited.
some money. Them
Yeah,
ones at
they make a
Brocco
lot of
and
money from
in
that.
Vegas, they
Listen,
get some
the
money.
porn. No, okay. Now, if we talking Bunny Ranch, which is now closed, they get paid because I know a girl that used to work there. We're
Oh,
talking
they getting paid.
10 grand minimum a month for like one or two people a day. That's high class hoeing right there. But we're not talking about sex traffickers doing that because she told me that Vegas, if you wanted to go to the Bunny Ranch when they were open, you had to get fingerprinted. You had to have an STD health check by the state of Nevada. The FBI had to give you a clearance. It's actually a really complicated thing to be a high end hoe in Vegas. Okay, so I don't think the sex traffickers are really going that route. They're more so going, and I'm gonna put this out there. I don't think conservative Twitter knows about these people. Taz's Angels. Anybody know who Taz's Angels is?
I'm familiar.
They're on Instagram.
Yeah, but they've been around for years. I think they're going the Taz's Angels route, where you recruit the young dumb girls at 17, like Ab, bring them over on a tourist visa or vacation, keep them, and then got 20 chicks living in your house screwing football players on the side for you, and you're
Who is
taking their
these
money.
people?
Taz is like
Wow, that's
a
crazy.
modern day pimp who has the baddest chicks. They all live with him. They don't leave a house. They only travel together. No one has ever really seen Taz without glasses. But all the NFL players, all the elite athletes, they call Taz to bring the girls out, and the girls come out.
I like a Jeffrey Epstein.
Kind of, but they're not allowed to have like social media. They're not allowed to not live in the house. They don't have their money.
They didn't
Taz
either.
gets it.
Oh,
They have to
like
cook
R.
and clean
Kelly.
for Taz. There we go. But he don't beat them and pee on them, I don't think.
Right. Well,
Epstein was doing that.
Well,
one of those guys recently was saying how he doesn't see it as him exploiting women. He sees it as exploiting men. That by being in control of their desires and being able to wave these women in front of their faces where they are willing to do anything to get
That's some
access
sick.
to
That's
these
sick.
women.
That's sick.
So
That's sick.
he tweeted this.
but
I
that. What
wish I
about
could
the
find the
women
tweet.
though?
He's like, I'm not these women. I'm taking care of them. They're good. But he's like, I exploit men. I don't exploit women. He's like, this is
But
hurts them. This is control. Them losing control of their life. The women are in control of their life, which I thought was crazy.
so
But a
they can
lot
leave
of
at any
times it's
time,
actually.
right?
Oh, apparently, like they like the boats, they like the lifestyle, they like
And they
all
don't
that
got no
stuff.
Sounds
love. They
about right.
don't know about
That
their
sounds about,
property.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I mean, if you've met
Because
any of
Taz
these
lets his
strippers, you
girls
know
leave
that's
too.
exactly what they want.
I think
Yeah.
that's
I mean, R.
indicative
Kelly
of
let his
porn
girls
too.
leave to
Porn
go
is, I
recruit
think
other
porn
girls.
also exploits men also because it exploits their worst desires sometimes and can bring out the worst in them if they don't have control. And I
But
think
wait a
if we
minute. If
classify them, I know, I think in one way, I'm not trying to say that I think this overall, but I think that if we classify porn in the way that you could as technically a drug in some way, at least in the way that it has affects some people who get addicted to it, it has the exact same effect if you're on crack, if you're on something like that in your brain. So if we wanted to classify it that way, then we would say, okay, how do we, we want to protect free speech, but how do we protect this so that it's not becoming a deterrent to what we need in our society of marriage, of healthy relationships, of healthy men and women, or
I see,
whatever.
I like that. I like
I, I
how you flip that a little bit, but I think where I'm having a lot of the issue is that they are actually saying it's a mental health crisis. That's what they're trying, these Republicans are trying to deem it as a mental health
Mhm.
crisis. To say porn is on the same level as a crack addiction, to me, I don't correlate
I
those
mean, you
two. I
do
just
have some
don't.
that's like that, but it's
is
not
though.
like
All
for
that's
the
what social
extent they
media is.
probably trying.
I mean, you won't die from, I
It's
mean,
all an addiction
You're
at
gonna
this
die
point.
from jerking off too much?
You don't die
Well,
from marijuana, but
people
look at
can
what they did with
have
that.
mental health issues
Just
from being on
throw that
social
in there.
media and
Wait, go ahead, Kat.
oh, I was just saying, like at this point in this day and age, I think that the we don't have a lot of self responsibility. We don't take we want to blame it on everything else because you can say social media does the same thing to people where people go online and they see people with better lives, better cars, and then all of a sudden they're depressed and they want to commit suicide and there's this and that. There are like there you have to have if you don't want to watch porn, don't watch porn. Do what works for you. I don't watch porn. My that's just me. I don't see the point in it. I don't see the need in it. And so, but if anybody else who wants it, that's on them. That's a personal choice. We have to take personal responsibility. And so the government shouldn't be involved in something that is, if you as a person have an issue with porn, then it's your risk to stop clicking on it, to stop going on
I
it
agree.
or whatever. But you can't blame everybody else for people's issues. Like, that's the problem, is that it's gotten so government has to take care of us, government has to fix this for us. No, government doesn't. We need to start fixing things for ourselves. If we don't want porn in our community, it's enough. As a community, we vote on, we ban, whatever, as a community, not the federal government getting involved or your own household. There are cyber blocks, there are things to put on there if you don't want your kids to get on there, just like if
Yeah.
you don't want them watching stuff on you. It's about personal responsibility. I don't think it's something that the government should get involved in, but you as an individual and your household deciding, is this something we're going to engage in? If it's not, cool. If it is, whatever. But you have to make that decision and not blame other people for why you are struggling or not struggling or breaking your penis off because you like that's all you do all day long.
No,
Like
I think
I
that
don't
was very well said, and that's all I was trying to say on Twitter was you have to take personal responsibility. And people kept saying, "But the kids, the kids." Listen, there are parental controls, there are restrictions, there are so many ways that you can take advantage of the settings on your devices and stop them from even Googling anything at all with offensive content or leading to third party websites. But then the counter argument is always, well, they're friends. Well, guess what? Like, their friends
Controlling
have been doing,
anyhow.
there we go. People have been
Do
exposed to
you
dumb
not know
shit with
their
their
friends?
friends. Girl,
Like my
I
parent, like
just,
I think about it, my parents, if you raise your children, if
Culture.
you take responsibility for your own children and what they do and who they're around, then you don't have to worry about when we went to friends' houses, because she knew how she raised us and she knew that we knew that we had to make the right choices, not blame it on, because with that excuse, well, my friends were doing it, wasn't going to fly when I walked through the door.
I would like
So
to
parents need to
reference
stop.
Boys in the Hood on that point. Okay, let's not act
Yeah.
like Trey could have went down a, you know, what happened? He didn't. So I mean, look, I just think that if we live in this society where we're allowing our government and our lawmakers to profit off of our fear, right? They would be profiting because we're paying to watch porn, which is ridiculous, I think. But then they're utilizing this word crisis. First, it was a climate crisis, right? Then there was a war on drugs. Now there's a war on porn. So it's like, what's next? There's a war on social media, and now all of a sudden they don't want us recording police officers and posting it on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, well, I think that
Well,
Jeff was right about we have to win the battle in the culture, and I think that by people talking about it, it will make it less. I think sort of what happened is like people just grew to think it was okay. Like everybody just all of a sudden, oh, it's okay. You know, before it was like, oh, it was taboo. Now everything is, oh, it's okay. So if as by talking about it, we go back to sort of people self-policing so that they may not, as frequently engage in it, or they have to at least think twice instead of thinking, okay, this is great. Let's just watch this stuff all the time. Saved and delivered.
You know what?
Amen.
No, I had an argument. I had an argument with some people on Twitter where I forgot her name, but she said to me that if you watch porn with your husband, it is defiling the marriage bed because
Oh,
you're
Jesus.
lusting. She said you're lusting after another person, and that lust is basically like adultery. And I said, well, wait a minute, because I even asked my husband this when she was like tweeting me. I said, well, wait a minute. A lot of people don't actually watch it to view and lust after the people that are fucking. It's more about just the act of it and like the chasing of the climax. You know what I'm saying? Like the action, not necessarily who it is. I mean, for me personally, when I'm watching porn, I'm not like, oh, that guy's a good looking guy, because half of them are not, It's kind of just like tunnel vision almost, like look below, just box it out. So I don't think that's a good thing to say. and I hate to say these Bible thumpers, and that's what it
Your
is.
first
It pisses
problem
me
is you keep
off.
listening to these fake Christians who believe in a fake
Her
God
sex
and a
life is
fake
very
Jesus.
boring, I
They're
bet you.
fake.
She fake.
My thing is
Everybody.
though,
I
what's the
wouldn't. They
difference
don't have
between
no man.
getting
They
sex
could not
advice
ever
from your
please a
friend?
man. They don't have nothing to do with men.
But
They
they
don't know
have sex
nothing.
marriage counseling. You will go to your counselor at your church to have sex marriage counseling. So what's the
Exactly.
difference?
So
You having
what's the
somebody tell
difference?
you
What's the
what to
It's
do in the
difference?
bed
nonsense.
I'm
versus
not
you.
getting no sex counseling from my
Watching
church.
it.
They have it. They have
We
that
just
at
gonna watch
church.
They have
porn. It's the same thing.
that's what I'm
To
saying. Like,
each his
what's the difference
own.
between you and your friends sitting around talking about y'all's like your sex life with your friends and getting girl put your leg like this, then your arm like this, and then
Right.
split it, then you watching it with your husband and nobody else. Like that's the TV compared to if you sit and talk to somebody about it, then it's you and your friend and your friend's friend and your friend's sister's dog, and then all of us about your sex life. When you could have just turned on the TV, like what you do in your
Yeah.
marriage bed is your marriage bed.
And
So
I
if
think
your
too, it
husband's okay
opens
with
up
it, not
communication. There, I think I don't know if any of you ever like watched Dr. Ruth, but I always watch her. I have five sisters, so shit like that was always on. But my family in general was just very open about talking about different things, one being sex and things like that. So I didn't have to stray too far for that type of education, right? But I know there are a lot of women, even in their 40s and 50s, who still are scared to tell their husband how they want to be fucked. And that is a problem. So in
Well,
these
that's not a
instances,
problem that porn. If you have a
no,
problem,
because
say what
marriage
you don't
counselors,
like.
no, marriage counselors actually use that as homework. They say, I want you to watch porn together. This is the actual tool that they utilize if you're uncomfortable with expressing yourself sexually, which I mean, it's so some people just are. It is what it is. That's okay if you're a little bit timid about that. But this kind of opens up the conversation, whether you initially end up watching the whole thing or you just turn it on and like, okay, well, it's not for me, but maybe this would be for me, and I think if it's utilized like that, then I don't see a problem with it. But it has such a negative stigma that like, oh, if we're going to be watching porn, you're going to want to fuck someone else and then you're going to cheat on me. And that's what a lot of people are saying. That's the consequence of
But
porn.
that's just like the same when you was younger and you always had the one friend that always had sex before you did, and you told them how I'm supposed to kiss, how I'm supposed to do this. You know what I'm saying? You ask your friend. I mean, like, what's the some people I don't know. I guess you supposed don't you supposed if you don't know, don't you ask? Or you find out I mean, you gotta learn some type of way.
Can
you
we
you
just say
either
that the
learn or but
boomers and
like
the
you
Gen
hear from
X
other
have a
people.
totally different set of problems?
But see, this
And you
new
said the
generation,
40s and
they
the
doing
50s.
I'm
stuff we
glad
wouldn't
you
do.
called the
Wait,
The
wait,
boomers
wait.
boomers and
out.
the Gen X have a
What age is the boomers before I
So
say
my
this?
boomers
husband is
are
on the cusp. He's
The 16?
81. Yeah,
Hold
he.
on. The 16 to what is
he's a
boomers?
Gen X.
No, wait, no, no. So he's not a
You
Gen
said
X. He's
81?
yeah,
I'm a
81.
millennial,
He's a
so
millennial.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
last
he a
year to be a
millennial.
millennial. So
no,
it's eight.
millennials started.
yeah.
No,
I think
millennials
millennials
81. That's the
started.
last year.
Well, it
80, I'm
depends
a
on how you
millennial. I don't
act. It
know.
No,
depends on how you act more than
94 is
anything.
the cutoff year for millennials.
It's
No, the reason why I was
81 to
saying
94,
for the
right?
boomer stuff, the boomers is these new kids, right?
Boomers
No,
is the
boomers is
old
the
The
people.
no,
older
Oh, the
baby
old
no, the
okay.
boomers.
That's
60s and the
Generation Z.
50s.
The baby
You know,
boomers.
they have a
I
totally
can't keep
different
up. What
set
is
of
this new
problems.
generation name?
I
These
don't
are
know.
X, I think
These
they're
This
are
is
Generation
X.
Generation
X.
Z.
Zoom.
And
We call them
oh right,
They
the
are
Zoomers.
the
younger
worst
version.
generation that God has put on earth.
The Zoomers.
Because they do everything we wouldn't do. When I was their age,
They eat
you
ass.
didn't you we wasn't talking about having sex with no women. We weren't talking about putting no penises in our mouth. Now they done had sex more than me. I'm 37. They
Social
16. They done
media.
outdid me.
Yeah, social media is a
Look,
huge
I
part
think
Social
of
this
it.
new
Yeah.
media.
They are
generation,
like
I
more
don't
out
know.
there.
And then
I
they
was gonna
looked at
say
and
that,
then the
yep.
stuff they doing with looking at TV. Like we grew up off gangster rap, but we didn't take the gun outside and kill somebody. These
My thing is
motherfuckers,
that there was
they
more
picking
there
up the
was more
pills, they
privacy.
shooting. Like, what's wrong with them?
There's nothing private. There's nothing private anymore. It's all about like putting it online. My life has to be online. You have to know about my sex life. You have to know the kind of shit I took this morning. You have to know what I had for breakfast. There's no
Imagine if we
privacy.
had a
There's no
camera
like
with me. I'm
keeping things to
37 years old.
yourself.
Imagine if it was a camera going around when I would be so embarrassed. I
But
wouldn't even
wait,
be on.
I'm just curious. But I'm just curious though,
I
right?
wouldn't be on
So
social media.
if we're talking, they're eating Tide Pods. Oh shit.
I'm so glad I was born when I was born.
Dumb shit. But wait, as it relates to porn, right? Since this new generation, I think it's Gen X, since the new generation wants to, come out with all this wild, freaky shit they do and make it normalized, like eating ass and shit, I was like, never.
Yeah.
Where do they get that from? Are they
Feedback.
getting that from porn? Because I'm pretty sure ass eating was not a top category growing up watching porn.
So
No.
That is not even something
some of that did
It's
come
not a
from
top
us,
category
and
ever.
the whole slutty boy thing, that was kind of like their thing. That, and this, the new generation is Gen Z, the Zoomers. So a lot of that came from these guys in DC, but I think a lot of it actually came from the politicians, because if the girls were doing it to the guys, which is why sort of how it came about, that means they were learning it from somebody. And so me particularly being in this area, I'm thinking
That's
it
shit in
came
your
from
mouth.
the prostitutes who service the governors and the Congress people. To be honest, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm from here. I see
No, I
other
was
Wait,
stuff
backing up the
what?
comment.
that I
We
can't
backing up the
Elaborate.
comment.
No, elaborate. Wait,
Okay,
what?
okay, so you
Girl,
do
no,
realize
someone's
that
talking about
there are lots
good
of
French.
prostitutes. DC is getting ready to legalize prostitution because
Lord.
people are starting to, exactly, people are starting to ask a lot of questions about these prostitutes that are on the street. There's a lot of prostitution. Now they've been able to get rid of a lot of it because they actually, like, a lot of gentrification came through DC, and so a lot of the areas where the prostitutes used to be, you don't see them anymore. So
Yes,
now
it's
they're
cleaned
having a
up.
problem getting the prostitutes, and they used to just get them offline,
So they shut
but that's
Backpage
not. But
down.
now they want trannies, and it's just a whole bunch of. So anyway, they're getting ready to just flat out legalize. There's a lot of
Well, they should. If they're going to legalize it like Nevada does, then it's going to be very hard because they got to have routine health checks. They got to get fingerprinted, and your
Well,
host not going to steal
that's
from you
why
on the way out.
they even say the prep is now free.
Yeah, prep's free. They're going to get that shit at the door at the hotels when they go
There
in.
we go. So now you can come full circle with what I see on the streets here. This is the type of stuff that they do. They, the local massage parlors are like, for real. Like these, I mean, there's one in Bethesda that just got shut down because
Who
the
is
people at
that?
the
He is
Pentagon were
crazy.
going up there to the parlor and being serviced. So this type of stuff is like, I see this all the time everywhere in DC. This is just the way it is. So that's a lot of the stuff. Y'all think it comes from the community. It actually comes from the politicians and their weird ass fetishes, and they bringing that stuff in, and it starts in DC. Everything starts in DC. You have no idea. Everything
Yeah, because they
starts in
don't want to
DC,
get
and it
penalized
spreads
for
like
it.
a cancer.
Well,
I'm
there
just,
is a debate over whether or not
Don't want to get
culture
caught up.
affects
They want to
policy
say
or
it was
policy affects
legal.
culture.
well, clearly it's culture affects policy in this case, right?
Right.
Because
Clearly.
we're going off societal norms and societal pressures and things like that. So as it relates to porn, in the same society where we can say prostitution is legal, going in and getting a blowjob for $80 or whatever the price is fine, and
Too
you get
much.
free HIV medicine on the way in.
Exactly.
We're gonna sit there and say that you can't watch porn unless you pay a fee. Like, I mean, it's just my point is, where does it end, right? Like right now we're using the kids as an excuse. Oh, this is why we have to restrict this, and this is why we have to do that because of the kids. And we're making prostitution legal because of the kids. We don't want them seeing Shaquita and them on the
You
strip.
give the government 1 inch, they take 2,000 miles. It's gonna be one thing after another. Next thing you know, we're gonna be out here like North Korea. We ain't gonna be able to have no internet unless it's given by them and shown by them. That's the
Period.
route we going.
Well,
It is.
if we
It's
get
like,
rid
what
of the
is?
police, then
Well, I
I
don't even
think
know how
that
we got
everything
to this
should be
point.
legal. That would be my suggestion.
Wait, say it again. What is it?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
get rid of the police and then just make everything legal and people can make their own choices. If
Girl,
it's the
I'm
same
not
thing,
about to die for
y'all want
you.
You're an
everything
anarchist out
legal.
here.
What?
Get rid of the police.
No, this this is gonna be the purge. My goodness.
Right.
It's just all about like people are not engaged enough, and they only come out every like for the presidential elections. People don't
We ain't
actually
gonna hear about none of this
understand
shit in
that.
2020 in
Whoa, whoa,
November.
whoa, whoa. We will be
No, we will
rallying
hear
against
about it.
porn with Amber Rose's slut walk, okay?
I ain't walking with that hoe.
I would never attend that slut walk.
Have y'all
That's just
ever
the dumbest
seen
shit
one of
I've
these
ever
I don't
seen.
things?
ever
It
go
is
out.
This
First
stupid.
stuff
of
comes
all,
through DC.
I
It's
don't understand.
horrible.
I just maybe this is just me, but I don't understand the personal pride in being called a slut. I For me, that's always been like a you don't want to be a slut, but then to go out and be like, "Hey guys, I'm a slut." Why? Why?
Why?
Well, a lot of them were like sexual violence victims and things like that. I think there's people commonly do that and they don't even realize it. Now women say I'm a B. Now black people call each other the N word. Like people think if I reclaim the word and I call myself, then I'm taking the power out of it, which I disagree with. But their point is, people called me a slut, so fine, I'm a slut. What now? Like
But
Yeah.
they
Amber
feel
Rose
like
was a
Yeah.
they're
slut
taking
though.
that
She act like
power
she
back.
wasn't.
She said she'll
But
say
that's the thing is
that.
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It just
How you
doesn't
gonna
make
get
sense
mad at
on
somebody
why,
calling you what you
like the
is?
reclaiming. I don't understand the point of reclaiming terms that are like, it's not going to change. It's not the meaning behind it's not. Just if it's not who you are, then just walk away from it. Don't claim it because
Well,
you
you gotta
really
pray for
can't
those
feel
people. You
good.
just walk along the slut walk and just pray for them. Like,
I'm
God,
not
you need
doing.
some
I'm
prayer.
gonna
What?
stay away from the
What?
walk. That's what I'm
You
gonna
don't
do.
got, because
No, I'm
it's
not
not
gonna
like
get
it's
hot
helping you
and
heal
hear
from
it.
whatever you went. It's like you're just accepting it, making it
Did,
a part of you instead of working through it. It just doesn't. It seems like you're
did you see
internalizing things.
did you see the video of that girl? I forgot his with Jesse, the guy.
Yes, when she said she's a,
I'm trying
but
to
her
pull it
mama
up.
wasn't the one though.
Yeah,
Your
but her
mama
mama not a slut,
wanted
but
slut,
everybody else could
but
be a
everybody
slut
else
if
is
they want to
slut.
be a slut. Did you see that? And I kept thinking to myself, this girl's like 19 or 20 or something like that. I was like, my God, this young generation are dumb as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
like no wonder why they're getting knocked up and becoming single moms. Look at how they're acting. They're meeting guys on the first night. Like, yeah, I'm a slut, and this shit's okay. And he was like, well, why you dressed like a slut? And she,
Jesse don't make any
did
sense.
God know
Okay.
you a slut? What is his Twitter? Wait, what is his Twitter?
I
Jesse
haven't.
Lee
Can you imagine
Peterson.
the president? Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for
Jesse
making
Lee
me a
Peterson.
slut.
Oh, I want to
And
play it
keep my
before we
family
end.
safe.
Okay, hold on. I want to play it before we end. Did all of you see the video? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no
Mm-mm.
idea.
No,
Oh, you guys know. You don't know. Oh my goodness, you're missing out on life.
no.
Wow,
I
you
don't stay on
really.
the internet like that.
Okay, well, I excuse you. Oh, damn. I mean, it's
Because
be coming
because
across my
people get on my
timeline,
nerves.
okay?
I'm really not off. I'm not on the internet because people stress me out. And
Really?
for my peace of mind, I don't need all them problems
You
and
supposed to do
people
the hotep
subtweeting
block.
me.
It's
And
real simple.
Or cuss him out
I don't
like
know.
me.
Okay,
I'll cuss
y'all
them to
might
the
shoot
floor.
me,
As
but
if
I don't know who Hotep is.
I cuss them out. You
I
understand me? I may cuss
I
them
don't know
out.
who Hotep is, so
Oh,
I don't
it's
know what
just
that
block.
means.
You just block everybody. You give them a reason, but they can't see it. But it's for your rest of your followers to see that you've
All
blocked them for
right.
the reason that they
I'm
gave
going to
you.
show
See,
y'all this and then we'll end.
I just
I thought we were gonna talk about the
So we
impeachment.
can talk about impeachment.
Oh, girl, that's going to have to be another night.
Right.
Right.
Hold on, we're gonna end on this high note because I feel like people will appreciate it if they've never seen this. Hold on one second. It just goes. All right.
oh god.
Yes, we are all sluts. You're a slut. All these dudes behind you are sluts. Your cameraman's a slut. Your PA's a slut. And your mic's a slut.
And what made you a slut?
Because I own my body. My body is not a political playground. It's not a place for legislation. It's mine. It's my future. And
How old are you?
grown. Grown.
Grown. And so you sleep around with a lot of men.
No, actually, I'm a virgin.
You're a virgin?
Yeah.
So you're not a slut.
Yes, you can be a slut. Because a slut is not what you made it, Jesse. A slut is what I made it. A boss, getting money, taking the mic, turning life around, taking over Hollywood. Samir, right?
So you are still a virgin, but yet you call yourself a slut.
It wouldn't matter. I'm saying it doesn't matter if I'm a virgin. It doesn't matter what the woman's sexual history is. A slut is just a word that you and your big fellow penises made. A slut. Your mama's a slut. Your grandma's a slut. Everybody.
Is your mother a slut?
No, but yours is.
Your mother's not a slut?
No.
When you say every woman's a slut.
Everybody.
Why your mother's not a slut?
You are a slut. Not my mother in particular is not a slut, but a slut is a word for anybody who's owning their sexuality, turning up, and not letting Jesse twist their answers around.
So let me ask, I noticed are you dressed slutty today?
No, I'm dressed like a woman.
What made you decide to come out looking like this? You look like a slut. What made you do it?
I look like a slut.
What made you dress?
What made you dress like this?
No, just answer that question. What made you dress?
I dress like this because I can dress whatever I want to. Period. But what made you dress like this?
Let me ask you, do you
Why
believe?
you put on this striped shirt?
Let me ask you, do you believe in God?
Yes, Jesse. I believe in God.
Would God want you to be a slut?
God would want me to be whatever I want to be.
Would He want you to be a slut?
He would want me to be whatever I want to be.
How about a slut?
Whatever I want to be.
And why would He want you to be a slut?
He would want me to be whatever I want to be because God believes in choice. And you should know that, Jesse. That's why you're allowed to wear this lame-ass shirt.
Would your parents be happy knowing that you're a slut?
CMHA. Like,
Foolishness.
Who raised her? Who raised her? He said,
Yo, that's a mental health problem. I'm sorry. I can't.
That's
That's a mental health problem. That is.
No. He took me out when he straight said, "You're a slut."
That's mental health, y'all. Our Zoomers, the Gen Z, they need mental health. I mean, you got to be working with these young people and just talk to them, because that is a mental health problem. That is daddy issues written all over it.
Yeah.
And you think the porn made her act that way?
What?
Could have. Maybe it made her dad leave. I don't know.
She for sure has. I would bet my unborn child that I'll probably never have another of. That heifer is not no virgin. She a liar.
oh, she ain't no virgin. If she is, she been sucking hella penises or something.
Oh, for sure. She gets it in the back door so she can stay a virgin.
Yeah, she's a damn lie.
She's a slutty fifth grader. She got the pigtails.
Yeah, that's.
And then
The shoes didn't match.
Ain't nobody that enthused that ain't had sex to be called a slut.
I'm just trying to figure out how God let you be a slut. Like,
Right.
God
yeah.
choices.
I was gonna pass out if she would have called God that word. I would have been like, oh.
Everybody's a
That
slut
would've
but her
been
mom.
I would have been like, you know what? I'm
But you see the way Jessie peeled her hands off the mic, like, he like, don't put your slutty ass hands on
It
the
looks
mic.
like she was on drugs.
Don't touch this, slut.
You know what? If we're gonna ban porn, let's ban Amber Rose's slut walk because
Take away those
I feel like
permits
if
they
you have a
use.
mental
Don't let them
check
get those
before you
permits.
can watch-
I feel like things like that is far more influential than porn. I'm
Like,
sorry.
no,
Like,
stuff like that is just basically get your damn kids. Where's her mama? Where's her daddy? Her grandma? Whoever the hell
But
raised
then, like,
her?
watch her be famous though. Watch her have a.
oh, she got a modeling contract. She got a modeling contract after that.
See?
I mean, she's
Because
pretty.
we reward
She's tall enough.
stupidity.
Like, damn.
Yeah. It's just she's a slut.
She's
Dumb
the
as
brand.
hell.
She's gonna do what they say. That's how you get violent contract.
Be a slut.
And then she gonna be. Then 20 years later, she gonna be having a story to tell.
You better hope she don't end up like the model Gia, strung out from slutting around and got AIDS and heroin and all that shit. But that's a whole nother situation. So we're gonna end on that tragic note. Maybe someone should give out the prep at the slut walk. Thanks to Trump, pass out those preps.
I got enough being a Trump supporter. I
Oprah,
can't
you
take
can
on that.
say,
I'm gonna wear a MAGA hat and pass out prep at the slut walk
Stop, don't do it. Don't
Oh
do it.
my God.
and wear a free the nipple shirt.
You pass out the Constitution to them stupid mother.
You know they don't know
Where's
what
the
that means.
Constitution?
Oh my God. Oh wait, we got one question before we end. Okay.
Mhm.
Question for the panel. Do you think porn has had a positive, negative, or no impact on society at all? I don't think we came to a consensus on that, did we?
I mean, it's not enough data information. Like we don't.
Yeah.
That's something
I
really hard
don't.
to gauge. Like if porn itself.
Well, it's employed a lot of people. The economy went up.
What? No, that's why the government want it in.
I can't really think of anything positive. People have
People
something
got
to
I
do,
don't
but
jobs.
you
either.
should be
What,
reading a book. So
they got jobs. I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, because we're not just talking about videos. We're talking about
Well,
magazines, Playboy. You know how many women got Playboy, jobs and things like that. So
The
I
first
mean,
lady.
I would, and you said it
I
before I
got
could.
magazines.
I've got a slew of photos I was gonna air, but I don't want to be banned from conservative Twitter for throwing them out there.
I mean, that's very interesting for them to be talking about porn, knowing she was on porn magazine.
Well, they
Like
said that they
some,
want to ban it, but then they love the first lady and Trump. And my question to them was,
that's the
well,
phoniness. They scared of Trump, so
exactly.
they ain't
Can
gonna
you
go
be
against.
for Trump and be against porn because his wife's a contributor to that, and Trump was on Playboy as well with hoes. So I mean, how can you be for one and against the other when they have intersected a
I-
lot?
Maybe they could
it
only
all
if
comes
they
down
were
to
against
again
it
personal self.
today. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get him to come out against that. That would be hypocritical. I
If
mean, I don't
Trump
think it's gonna work
mentioned
out.
the word porn, the Democrats gonna put up 50,000 pictures of Melania. He better shut up and act like he ain't heard nothing about none of this. Some stuff he need to just ignore.
That's one thing. Don't tweet
That's my
about that.
dog. I roll with him. I rock with him. He better take my advice. You say two words about porn, or they gonna rock you to sleep about
Nah.
your wife.
All right, y'all. I want to thank
Yep.
you for joining us.
They're waiting for it.
Hopefully we can do another women's panel because I think you guys really enjoyed this. I liked having all women on. That's like we've never done this before. Hopefully we
Yeah.
can get some more interesting topics that only we. I think I'm so sick of people saying certain things are like not a women's issue, like this whole porn situation. I think we have
Mhm.
way more to contribute to this type of conversation than men do. So I don't think we'll ever do an abortion one because that shit's gonna get heated. So we will ignore that and move on to other
I ain't
interesting
with killing
things.
no babies. I'm about to tell y'all that before it even gets
We
started.
will move on to other interesting topics in the future. Be sure to follow everybody on Twitter. Our ads will be in the bio. You can always come back and watch this. Check out the links to the people that we've included the video clips for. And Jeff, you're not joining as a woman. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys.
Oh, he
All
can
right.
be a woman. Look at what society doing. He can one day he can just say he's a
No.
woman.
End on that note.
Today
We're
I'm
gonna.
free and it's time for me to leave.
All right.
But
Is it over with?
how do you?